Behind the dazzling facade of Hollywood glamour and flawless red carpet fashion, a surprising truth often lurks. Have you ever wondered what it truly feels like to be around these stars in real life? The reality might shock you. Some celebrities reportedly harbor hygiene habits so questionable that even their closest colleagues struggle with the scent. From skipping showers to outright rejecting deodorant, these 31 famous personalities are rumored to clear a room faster than any major Hollywood scandal. Stick around to discover the stunning truths from those who have encountered them. Britney Spears. Pop icon. Britney Spears has long been a subject of intense public attention, but some of the most astonishing claims about her personal habits came from her former bodyguard, Fernando Flores. In a 2011 lawsuit, Flores made bold accusations regarding Spears' hygiene. He stated that she frequently smelled of stale cigarettes due to her heavy smoking. Flores further revealed that she rarely showered, consistently skipped deodorant, and hardly ever brushed her teeth. His observations did not stop there. He also noted her tendency to walk around barefoot. This detail appeared to be confirmed when paparazzi photographed her strolling shoeless at a Los Angeles gas station in 2004. While the pop star's life glittered with glamour, it seemed some aspects of her private world were less luminous. Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf is renowned for fully immersing himself in his acting roles. However, one of his most extreme method acting techniques left those around him holding their noses. While filming Fury, a gritty World War II drama, LaBeouf avoided showering for weeks. He intended to fully capture the grime and struggle experienced by real soldiers. This intense dedication came with an unexpected consequence: an unbearable stench. His co-stars found it difficult to endure. Even Maddie Ziegler, who collaborated with him on Sia's Elastic Heart music video, noticed the issue and suggested cleansing wipes. Yet, Shia remained steadfast, adhering to his unusual approach. The cost of authenticity, it seems, was not just limited to the role itself. Before we dive deeper, tell us, which country are you watching from? And trust us, you won't want to miss the shocking celebrities and unbelievable stories coming up. Sandra Bullock. Even Hollywood's golden girl, Oscar winner Sandra Bullock, possesses a beauty secret that surprised fans. Instead of relying on expensive creams, Sandra reportedly swears by an eyebrow-raising remedy: hemorrhoid cream. Specifically, she dabs the cream, typically used for swelling in private areas, under her eyes to combat puffiness and fine lines. Sandra once confessed, "I didn't know using butt cream on your face was a thing in the beauty industry, but it actually works." This A-list glamour with its shocking twist was truly unforeseen. Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp's unique style is unmistakable, but his dedication to authenticity sometimes extended far beyond the script. While filming Pirates of the Caribbean, Depp reportedly took his portrayal of a rugged pirate to the extreme. This involved skipping showers and even neglecting to brush his teeth. He argued that real pirates would not concern themselves with hygiene, and he was determined to embody that gritty persona. However, his commitment to this unkempt image reportedly did not sit well with everyone. During their time together on The Tourist, co-star Angelina Jolie reportedly struggled with his breath during their scenes. So much so, she allegedly handed him mints and suggested he freshen up with Listerine before continuing. While Depp's dedication to his roles is commendable, it seems some boundaries, such as basic hygiene, might have been pushed a bit too far. Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt, often considered the epitome of a Hollywood heartthrob, might turn heads with his looks. However, behind the scenes, his hygiene habits are reportedly far from glamorous. On the sets of films like Fury and Inglourious Basterds, it became clear to his co-stars that Brad was not exactly showering as expected. Instead of taking regular showers, Brad reportedly relied on baby wipes to freshen up. Eli Roth, who starred alongside him in Inglourious Basterds, shared that Brad swore by this method, finding it quicker and more convenient than a traditional shower. While it may have saved him time, Baby wipes reportedly did not leave him smelling like a fresh rose. This method, though practical, clearly did not mask body odor in the way a full shower could. What made things truly interesting, however, was the irony. Despite his own questionable hygiene habits, Brad Pitt once reportedly told his then-partner Angelina Jolie that she needed to freshen up her breath. This reveals a surprising twist in the hygiene department. Clark Gable. Clark Gable, the iconic heartthrob known for his role as Rhett Butler in Gone with the Wind, harbored a behind-the-scenes secret. This secret reportedly made his legendary on-screen romance with Vivien Leigh less than perfect. Despite their unforgettable chemistry, Vivien reportedly struggled with their kissing scenes. Sources suggest Gable's dentures caused his breath to be so unpleasant that their intimate moments became nearly unbearable. Gable had lost most of his teeth by age 32 due to severe gum infections. His dentures allegedly emitted a strong odor, presenting a significant challenge for Leigh to endure close-up shots. Even Hollywood's brightest stars, it seems, faced their less glamorous moments. Jake Gyllenhaal. Jake Gyllenhaal sparked a significant debate during a 2021 interview with Vanity Fair. He revealed an unconventional perspective on personal hygiene, stating he does not believe in the necessity of daily showers. The actor suggested that people often overlook the body's natural cleansing abilities. He even implied that occasionally skipping a shower could be beneficial for skin health. While this raised eyebrows, Gyllenhaal quickly clarified his stance on other hygiene practices. He maintains absolute meticulousness regarding oral hygiene, always ensuring his breath remains fresh. This star, confident in his unique methods, certainly invites a touch of controversy with his views on scent. Jennifer Lawrence. It is difficult to imagine America's darling, Jennifer Lawrence, without a radiant smile. However, her Hunger Games co-stars might offer a differing opinion when it comes to her breath. During filming, Lawrence reportedly had a habit of indulging in strong-smelling foods like garlic and tuna right before shooting kissing scenes. This practice often dismayed her fellow cast members. Liam Hemsworth, who played Gale, admitted he was caught off guard, jokingly stating that Jennifer always tasted like her lunch. Josh Hutcherson, who portrayed Peta, echoed similar complaints, making it clear that her pre-scene meal choices were not conducive to romantic on-screen moments. While Jennifer's easygoing nature and sense of humor have earned her countless fans, even her closest co-stars struggled with this quirky habit. Tom Cruise. In the world of Hollywood, where beauty often knows no limits, some stars are willing to go to bizarre extremes to maintain their youthful glow. Enter Tom Cruise, whose rumored anti-aging regimen might top the list of eccentric celebrity beauty rituals. According to industry whispers, the Mission Impossible icon is said to have tried the infamous geisha facial. This treatment reportedly involves bird droppings. Yes, you read that correctly. Bird poop. This peculiar beauty practice entails applying sterilized bird excrement to the skin. Proponents claim it helps exfoliate and rejuvenate the complexion, offering a bright, youthful look. While the idea of slathering bird droppings on one's face sounds more like an old wives' tale than a skincare secret, it has reportedly gained popularity among some Hollywood elites. Victoria Beckham famously swore by it, and now rumors suggest that Tom Cruise might have joined the bird poop trend as well. Advocates claim that the enzymes in bird droppings work wonders to exfoliate the skin, leaving a youthful, radiant glow. For those in Hollywood, it is considered a far cheaper and certainly more unusual alternative to Botox. Viggo Mortensen. Viggo Mortensen's dedication to method acting reached remarkable extremes during the filming of The Lord of the Rings, where he played Aragorn. To fully embody the rugged ranger, Mortensen spent days camping in the wilderness, going without showers, soap, or a change of clothes. The consequence was a body odor so potent that some of his co-stars, including Sean Bean, Boromir, voiced their concerns about the smell. Despite the discomfort it caused, Mortensen's commitment to the role paid off, as Aragorn remains one of cinematic history's most iconic characters. However, Mortensen appears to know when to temper his approach. His younger co-stars, when promoting Captain Fantastic, shared that in real life he smells far more pleasant, often carrying the refreshing scent of green tea or yerba mate. Julia Roberts, beloved Oscar-winning star. Julia Roberts maintains a hygiene routine that might surprise many. The actress, known for her eco-conscious lifestyle, once revealed she sometimes goes days without showering. She stated this habit was primarily for conserving water. Star magazine even quoted a former bodyguard describing her as a true hippie, deeply committed to green living, although this commitment came with a noticeable side effect: a body odor her staff had to endure. When Roberts did choose to shower, she reportedly used minimal soap, claiming it helped preserve her skin's natural oils. Her hair care is equally unconventional. Instead of washing her hair regularly, she embraced the belief that frequent washing strips essential oils, making hair dry and lifeless. In fact, Roberts has admitted to loving the natural scent of her unwashed hair, a sentiment well known to those close to her. Matthew McConaughey. Matthew McConaughey is widely recognized for his easygoing, free-spirited demeanor. However, his personal hygiene habits might prove surprising. The Dallas Buyers Club star has reportedly not used deodorant in over 20 years. When combined with his intense workout routine, maintaining a fresh scent reportedly becomes quite a challenge. His Fool's Gold co-star, Kate Hudson, apparently noticed this during their intimate scenes and decided to intervene. Concerned, she went out of her way to purchase a natural mineral salt deodorant for him, hoping to encourage a change. But McConaughey reportedly rejected the offer. He explained that he did not wish to cover up his natural scent. In his own words, the women in his life have consistently told him he smells like a real man. Could you really handle being around Hollywood's biggest stars with habits like these? Comment yes if you could tough it out, or no if you'd be running for fresh air. Let's see where everyone stands. Bradley Cooper. Bradley Cooper, like Julia Roberts and Matthew McConaughey, is another Hollywood star who has chosen to forgo deodorant. He believes the body possesses a natural ability to cleanse itself without the need for chemicals. However, unlike some celebrity peers who skip showering, Cooper actually prioritizes cleanliness. He reportedly showers up to 3 times a day. In an interview with Esquire, the Hangover star detailed his routine: 1 shower in the morning, another at night, and an additional one after working out. While his dedication to staying clean might seem reassuring, his refusal to use deodorant still raises questions. The reasons behind so many Hollywood stars abandoning deodorant remain unclear. Shailene Woodley. Shailene Woodley is celebrated for her nature-centric lifestyle and dedication to herbal remedies. Yet, her unconventional habits have sometimes presented challenges for those around her. Known for her holistic approach, Woodley's choices range from eating clay to brewing her own medicinal concoctions. While filming The Spectacular Now, her co-star Miles Teller reportedly endured a difficult time during their kissing scenes. At that period, Shailene was consuming a potent Chinese herbal tonic, which left her breath with an overwhelmingly unpleasant odor. Teller had no choice but to power through the awkward situation. Her unique lifestyle did not only impact her co-stars, it also reportedly raised concerns with designers. Rumors suggest some stylists declined to lend her dresses because she frequently used extremely strong essential oils. These oils allegedly clung to fabrics. In fact, some designers reportedly did not even want their dresses returned after she had worn them. This certainly suggests she left a lasting impression in more ways than one. Robert Pattinson. Robert Pattinson, the heartthrob who portrayed Edward Cullen in Twilight, has openly admitted that personal hygiene is not his top priority. His iconic messy hair, it turns out, is not a result of styling. It is simply a product of skipping hair washes and allowing natural oils to accumulate. Pattinson even confessed to going days without showering, sometimes only realizing it when he could start to smell himself. On the Twilight set, his co-stars reportedly endured more than just his brooding vampire persona. He not only skipped bathing but also wore the same clothes for days, which undoubtedly added discomfort to the already tense atmosphere. Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe's acting prowess is legendary, but his infamous body odor has left a particularly lasting impression on his co-stars. Rumors began during the making of Gladiator, alleging that Crowe went days without showering. This reportedly forced his fellow actors to endure a truly unbearable stench. This was not merely a fleeting moment, it became an integral part of his method acting. On the set of Cinderella Man, Crowe reportedly took his commitment to the role of boxer, Jim Braddock, to an extreme level, refusing to shower in hopes of fully immersing himself in the character. His co-stars, however, were reportedly not in favor of this immersive experience. The odor was reportedly so intense that it became a topic of conversation, overshadowing his Oscar-worthy performance. This habit continued on the set of Noah, where Crowe again chose to skip soap to remain true to his character, making the set anything but comfortable for those around him. While his dedication to realism is undeniable, the toll it took on his co-stars' noses left a more pungent legacy. Crowe's hygiene habits might have been unforgettable, though not in the way anyone would hope. Kendra Wilkinson. Kendra Wilkinson, known for her glamorous public image, surprised many when rumors about her hygiene habits began to circulate. While she consistently appeared dazzling in public, insiders claimed her personal care was far from flawless. One hairstylist who worked with Kendra revealed she often had a pungent body odor, at times even resembling a faint urine smell. The stylist initially thought it might be due to her pets, but soon realized the true cause was her lack of attention to hygiene. According to the stylist, Kendra rarely showered and did not use perfume, making her natural scent impossible to ignore. What began as an isolated incident reportedly became a frequent issue, becoming a hot topic among her styling team. Despite her fame and beauty, Kendra's hygiene reportedly left a less glamorous mark behind the scenes. Uma Thurman. Uma Thurman's name is synonymous with Hollywood glamour. However, a behind-the-scenes revelation might just alter how fans perceive the star. A stylist who worked with her on a major photo shoot shared a shocking experience that quickly became the talk of the crew. The stylist recalled that Uma arrived on set wearing clothes stained with food. The true surprise came when they discovered a shrimp stuck to her back. Even more unsettling was the belief that the shrimp had been there for almost 2 weeks. The smell of old food on her clothing was reportedly overpowering, leaving no doubt that this was not an isolated mishap. While Uma consistently dazzles on the red carpet with her poised and polished appearance, this bizarre behind-the-scenes moment certainly left a lingering impression. Zac Efron. Zac Efron is widely recognized for his impressive physique and sculpted abs. Yet, an unexpected downside to his dedication in the gym exists. He sometimes skips showering after intense workouts. Those who have worked with him reveal that Efron does not always clean up after sweating. Thus, when he appears rugged and sweaty in Baywatch, it might not solely be for the character. One particularly awkward moment occurred during a kissing scene. Efron had just eaten a tuna sandwich before filming. His co-star immediately noticed the lingering smell and directly called him out. Zac was visibly embarrassed, but it seems he took the lesson to heart, especially concerning tuna and romantic scenes. Cameron Diaz. Cameron Diaz, the star of Bad Teacher, has some surprising hygiene habits that might prompt a reconsideration of her all-natural approach. For over 20 years, she has openly admitted to avoiding deodorant, believing it clogs pores and worsens body odor. However, this commitment to being chemical-free has had its drawbacks. These include visible sweat stains and paparazzi photos of her in stained or greasy clothes, leading many to question her overall hygiene. Even more unexpectedly, Cameron confessed she is not the most diligent when it comes to laundry. Instead of washing her clothes, she often wears the same outfit for up to 4 days before discarding it. These quirky habits have generated considerable discussion. While her natural beauty shines on screen, her behind-the-scenes choices have reportedly earned her a reputation as one of Hollywood's more hygiene-challenged stars. Jennifer Aniston. Even Hollywood's most adored stars are not immune to occasional embarrassing moments. Jennifer Aniston, the iconic Friends star, is celebrated for her beauty and charm. However, a surprising issue has reportedly surfaced on set: her coffee breath. As a self-proclaimed coffee lover, Jennifer's caffeine habit has led to some strong-smelling consequences. On the sets of The Switch, 2010, and Horrible Bosses, 2011, Jason Bateman reportedly had to pause a kissing scene because her coffee breath was so overpowering. He lightened the moment by offering her a mint with a joke. Alec Baldwin, while working with her on 30 Rock in 2008, also called out her coffee breath on set. This made it clear that even Hollywood's sweetheart occasionally faces awkward moments. It seems even the stars have their less glamorous sides. Megan Fox. Megan Fox, the stunning star of Transformers, reportedly surprised fans with an unexpected confession about her habits. According to reports, she does not always flush the toilet after using it. This quirk has reportedly caused discomfort for those living with her. Adding to the reported chaos, Megan has admitted that keeping things tidy is not her forte. This makes it even more challenging for those around her. While many might consider this unhygienic, Megan appears completely unfazed by it. She reportedly offers a refreshingly laid-back approach to cleanliness that leaves fans both stunned and curious. What's your take on Megan Fox's story? Drop a number from 1, don't agree with him at all, to 5, fully support him, in the comments. Let's see where everyone stands. Snooki, Jersey Shore. Hollywood is no stranger to bizarre beauty routines, but Snooki from Jersey Shore might have pushed the boundaries to a new level. Her unexpected skincare secret? Cat litter. Instead of opting for expensive creams or spa treatments, Snooki reportedly swears by the same product used in litter boxes. There is one crucial caveat. It must be clean, fresh cat litter. According to Snooki, this DIY beauty hack is not as strange as it sounds. She even reassured her followers that she only uses brand new, unused litter, emphasizing definitely no poo involved. In fact, she encourages her fans to try it, suggesting they pick up an extra bag of cat litter for their own skincare regimen. While this budget-friendly approach might be cheaper than Tom Cruise's bird poop facials, most people would likely think twice before applying litter to their faces. Still, Snooki's commitment to unconventional beauty routines demonstrates that in Hollywood, sometimes weirder is better. Christina Aguilera. Christina Aguilera, celebrated for her powerhouse vocals, reportedly shocked fans with a hygiene habit that is difficult to believe. Rumors suggest she skips washing her hands after using the restroom. While most people are taught the importance of hand washing from a young age, the pop star reportedly does not always follow this rule. This bizarre revelation came from a restroom attendant who claimed to have witnessed Aguilera walk straight out of the bathroom without touching the sink. The attendant, in disbelief, watched as Aguilera returned to her restaurant table and continued eating with unwashed hands. Even more unsettling during the meal, fans approached her for handshakes and Christina reportedly happily obliged. They were unaware they were shaking hands with someone who had just disregarded basic hygiene. Gwyneth Paltrow. Gwyneth Paltrow's recent appearance at the Met Gala reportedly drew attention, though not for anticipated reasons. According to the National Enquirer, some guests were reportedly taken aback by an unexpected odor emanating from the actress. A few individuals were even observed discreetly fanning the air around them, seemingly attempting to disperse the smell. What is particularly strange is that Gwyneth appeared completely unaware of their reactions. The likely cause was her choice of aluminum-free deodorant. A close friend of the actress revealed that Paltrow had been experimenting with natural deodorants. This was driven by concerns that conventional antiperspirants containing aluminum could potentially increase the risk of cancer. While her motivation was rooted in health, the transition to natural alternatives reportedly presented challenges. Her friend confessed that Gwyneth had struggled to find a formula that effectively worked. While the actress is known for her commitment to wellness and holistic living, this Met Gala moment underscored that some natural beauty swaps can have unintended side effects. Kourtney Kardashian. The Kardashian family is frequently associated with impeccable beauty and lavish living. However, their polished appearances do not always reveal the complete story. Scott Disick, Kourtney Kardashian's ex, once hinted at a surprising detail regarding Kourtney's hygiene. According to Scott, Kourtney did not always smell as fresh as she looked, particularly when their children were young. The reason? Kourtney had opted to stop using deodorant while breastfeeding, believing that chemicals in conventional products could be harmful to her baby. Regardless of the medical validity, Kourtney was reportedly fully committed to an all-natural approach. However, Scott was reportedly not pleased with the change and openly voiced his displeasure. While Kourtney remained steadfast in her decision, it is clear that not everyone around her was as enthusiastic about the switch. Harry Styles. Harry Styles boasts millions of adoring fans worldwide, yet when it comes to his body odor, not everyone offers praise. Those who have spent time with him, including his former One Direction bandmates, have hinted at some less-than-ideal hygiene habits. Louis Tomlinson once humorously called out Harry for being a bit too gassy, suggesting he never quite owned up to it. Zayn Malik took things even further, reportedly telling Inquisitor that no amount of money could persuade him to sniff Harry's socks. This comment raised serious hygiene concerns during their time together. Even Taylor Swift, Harry's famous ex, reportedly disliked his breath, especially after he had been drinking. While Harry's effortless charm and rock star allure have made him a global sensation, his behind-the-scenes habits appear less polished. Although he often jokes about his laid-back approach to cleanliness, particularly during busy periods, his nonchalant attitude toward hygiene evidently left a significant impression on those around him. Ashton Kutcher. Ashton Kutcher generated considerable discussion in 2021 when he revealed his surprising approach to personal hygiene. He stated that he does not follow the traditional daily shower routine. Instead of full-body showers every day, he explained that he only focuses on washing his armpits and groin with a bar of Lever 2000 soap. According to Kutcher, this minimal routine suffices, and he feels no need to wash any other part of his body unless absolutely necessary. Even after intense workouts, Kutcher's hygiene routine remains basic. Rather than scrubbing down or using soap to wash away sweat, he simply splashes water on his face, deeming it a sufficient way to rinse off. His wife, Mila Kunis, reportedly shares his view on hygiene. The couple has extended this simple approach to their children's care, openly admitting they do not bathe their children every day, nor do they use soap unless visible dirt is present on their skin. Kutcher justified their choices by stating, "If you can see dirt on them, clean them," emphasizing that frequent washing strips away the skin's natural oils. They also believe that constant soap use can be harsh on the skin, which naturally cleanses itself without excessive intervention. While this minimalist routine has sparked debate and criticism, Ashton and Mila clearly deviate from Hollywood's typical grooming standards. They prefer a more relaxed and natural approach to cleanliness and parenting. Their philosophy, while unconventional, highlights their belief that sometimes less is more in personal care. Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift, known for her unexpected surprises, once shocked fans with a revelation about her shower routine. During an appearance on The Ellen DeGeneres Show, Taylor confessed to a unique habit that quickly became widely discussed. The surprising element of this story? Her feet. It turns out that Taylor does not intentionally wash her feet while showering. Instead, she relies on shaving cream to do the job. According to Taylor, since she shaves her legs daily, she considers the shaving cream to be a dual-purpose product. Soap for her legs and somehow her feet too. "Shaving cream is like soap," she confidently stated, even turning to Ellen for confirmation. Ellen humorously responded, "I'm on the right side of history." The laughter was contagious, but Ellen quickly pointed out a flaw in Taylor's logic. "But if you don't shave your legs, you don't wash them." To this, Taylor, ever quick-thinking, reassured the audience, "I shave daily." Of course, this prompted Ellen's hilarious retort, "Oh my God, you must be really hairy." This playful exchange entertained the audience, but also left everyone pondering a crucial question. Can shaving cream truly replace soap? Or was Taylor simply bending the rules of hygiene in her own signature style? Kesha. Kesha, the pop star celebrated for her fearless and unconventional approach to life, has certainly taken some bold steps in beauty and hygiene. One of her most surprising habits is that she rarely washes her hair. Kesha believes that by skipping frequent shampooing, her hair can better retain its natural oils, promoting healthier and shinier hair while avoiding damage from overwashing. While this may seem unusual to some, it is just one example of how she remains true to her authentic, untamed style. However, this is far from the most shocking thing Kesha has done for self-care. In her MTV documentary, My Crazy Beautiful Life, she reportedly took things to an entirely new level by drinking her own urine on camera. Encouraged by a friend who claimed that urine offered health benefits, Kesha proceeded with the bizarre stunt. It quickly went viral and left fans reeling. Looking back, she admitted it was a gross moment, and later expressed regret for going through with it. While Kesha's bold and unapologetic self-expression continues to distinguish her, her urine drinking moment is likely one beauty trend most people will not be eager to try. Post Malone. In the glittering world of sold-out arenas and platinum hits, Post Malone's effortlessly cool vibe reigns supreme. Yet behind that laid-back image, a hint of controversy reportedly lingers. Whispers about his hygiene have circulated for years. One wild rumor even claimed a former manager resigned because they simply could not tolerate the smell. Fans jokingly suggest he needs a professional refresh session. Still, Post Malone reportedly cares little. He insists there is nothing offensive about his natural musk. It is simply who he is. In his own words, he skips deodorant altogether. Therefore, anyone entering his personal space should be prepared to embrace the scent. This means no dramatic soap and water overhauls and no perfume to mask the truth. Just raw, unfiltered Post Malone. Wallace Beery. With major hits like The Champ and Grand Hotel, he became a ubiquitous fixture of early Hollywood. However, away from the cameras, Beery's reputation was anything but charming. In 1937, the entertainment world was rocked by the sudden and mysterious death of comedian Ted Healy, best known for creating The Three Stooges. The official cause of death was attributed to a combination of alcohol and other factors. But behind closed doors, whispers told a far darker tale. Multiple reports alleged that Healy had been involved in a violent altercation outside a nightclub, with Wallace Beery's name squarely at the center of the controversy. Some accounts claim that Beery and two other men severely beat Healy during a heated confrontation. No charges were ever filed, and no official blame was assigned, but the persistent rumors never died. Behind the scenes, murmurs of a massive studio cover-up abounded. MGM, desperate to shield one of its biggest stars, was widely rumored to have paid off witnesses and meticulously buried the truth. Nothing was ever definitively proven, but in the court of public opinion, the damage was permanent. Even without the Healy scandal, Beery was no stranger to criticism. Many who worked alongside him described him as volatile, incredibly difficult, and openly cruel. He routinely yelled at directors, belittled co-stars, and mercilessly used his fame to bulldoze anyone who stood in his way. Whether or not he played a direct role in Ted Healy's tragic end, Wallace Beery serves as a chilling reminder of how powerful stars, and even more powerful studios, could twist the spotlight to conceal the darkest corners of fame. Tom Neal. His first major scandal exploded when he engaged in a vicious brawl with actor Franchot Tone, both men fiercely vying for the affections of actress Barbara Payton. The beating inflicted was so severe that Tony ended up hospitalized with serious injuries. The story dominated front pages, and Hollywood recoiled. Neil's reputation suffered a severe blow, but this was only the beginning. Years later, in 1965, tragedy struck again. His wife was discovered dead from a gunshot wound. Neil adamantly insisted it was an accident, but the court viewed it differently. He was ultimately convicted of manslaughter and sentenced to prison. The parallels between his life and his roles were chilling. Neil had carved out a career portraying troubled men with violent tempers, and now life had horrifyingly imitated art. Fans and critics alike couldn't help but ponder. Had the roles truly consumed the man? When he was finally released, the industry had long since moved on without him. There were no comebacks, no redemption arcs. Tom Neil faded into utter obscurity, his name merely a whisper in Hollywood's darker footnotes, remembered not for the roles he played, but for the profound chaos he lived. George Raft. Lionel Atwill. Audiences knew him as the towering figure behind Son of Frankenstein and Mystery of the Wax Museum, a man who could command a room with a mere whisper and make evil appear elegantly sophisticated. But in 1940, the lights dimmed and the true horror began. Word leaked of an infamous party, the kind studios desperately wanted to keep entirely secret. What precisely transpired that night remained shrouded in mystery, but when Atwill was hauled into court and compelled to testify, he didn't just evade the truth, he outright lied. And in Hollywood, lying under oath was a transgression far more perilous than any monster portrayed on screen. Charged with perjury, Atwill instantly became radioactive. The industry that once adored him turned ice cold. His name vanished from marquees and offers ceased coming. Behind the scenes, insiders whispered that he had irrevocably crossed a line, not merely in the eyes of the law, but in the eyes of studio bosses desperate to maintain their golden world as squeaky clean as possible. He continued acting, securing smaller roles in quieter films, but the glory days were unequivocally over. The scandal indelibly stained him, and in the rigid moral climate of 1940s, Hollywood forgiveness was in tragically short supply. Spade Cooley. Spade Cooley was once a radiant star with a fiddle in his hand and a perpetual smile on his face, proudly dubbed the King of Western Swing. However, by the early 1960s, Cooley's meticulously crafted public persona would shatter in the most horrifying way imaginable. In 1961, he was convicted in court. The devastating charge, the brutal death of his wife, the result of an attack so violent it profoundly stunned the nation. There was no denying it, no ambiguity whatsoever. This was not a scandal fabricated by Hollywood gossip columns. This was a cold, devastating, undeniable fact. Fans were utterly shocked. How could a man known for cheerful melodies and cowboy charm be capable of such monstrous cruelty? Yet, those closer to him painted a chillingly different picture of a jealous, controlling husband whose volatile temper had long simmered ominously beneath the surface. He was sentenced to prison, and although he sought parole years later, fate intervened. Cooley tragically died of a heart attack before he could ever walk free again. His story stands apart from the others. There is no mystery, no speculation, just a haunting, unequivocal reminder that even the most joyful stage presence can conceal a deeply dangerous and disturbing reality. Mabel Normand. In 1922, Hollywood was rocked by the sudden and deeply suspicious death of director William Desmond Taylor. Normand was not just a colleague, she was a close friend, perhaps even more. She was also chillingly one of the very last people to see him alive. Although she was never formally accused, the pervasive suspicion clung to her like a shroud of smoke. Rumors swirled about intense arguments, dark secrets, and possible ties to the darker side of fame, including whispered mentions of addiction and severe financial tension. Then came another alarming headline. This time, Normand was present at a party when her wealthy lover shockingly shot another man. Once again, she wasn't charged. Once again, the scandal dominated front-page news. Whether by sheer coincidence or a cruel curse, violence seemed to consistently follow her name, and the studios were deeply displeased by this disturbing pattern. Public opinion rapidly shifted. The once playful star now carried a reputation irrevocably clouded by chaos. Her illustrious career stumbled, and offers ceased coming. Mabel Normand tragically died young, her final curtain falling long before the full truth about her entanglements was ever truly revealed. And while no jury ever found her guilty of wrongdoing, the relentless gossip painted her as an undeniable magnet for trouble. Mary Miles Minter. Edward G. Robinson. Off-camera, Robinson existed in a world diametrically opposed to the characters he so masterfully portrayed. He was a fervent lover of fine art, a discerning collector of rare books, and a man of profound intellect and culture. Yet even such sophistication could not shield him from the political storm that violently swept through Hollywood in the late 1940s. As pervasive political paranoia gripped the nation, the House Un-American Activities Committee set its sights on the film industry. Robinson's name was never officially blacklisted, but in Hollywood it didn't need to be. Whispers were enough. His career stalled significantly, prime roles vanished, and studios meticulously kept their distance. The man once considered untouchable found himself quietly, yet decisively, pushed to the sidelines. Then came the darker, more insidious rumors. Hushed, low-key meetings with shady figures, questionable associations whispered about at exclusive gatherings. No concrete proof, no formal charges. Just enough pervasive doubt to make the entire industry profoundly nervous. The lines between Robinson's iconic, tough guy roles and his real life began to unsettlingly blur. And in an era where public image was absolutely everything, that pervasive blur left a lasting, indelible stain. Gary Cooper. On screen, Gary Cooper was the very embodiment of the all-American hero. Tall, calm, and courageously principled. Films like High Noon and Sergeant York firmly cemented his image as a man of unwavering integrity. But behind the scenes, his reputation took a distinctly more controversial turn during one of Hollywood's darkest chapters: the infamous HUAC hearings. Unlike some of his peers who openly named names, Cooper adopted a more restrained approach, yet his actions still spoke volumes. He admitted to reading scripts that, in his own carefully chosen words, contained un-American ideas. That subtle, seemingly innocuous nod provided considerable fuel to the destructive fire, lending credibility to the insidious witch hunts systematically targeting Hollywood's creative minds. To some, Cooper's cooperation, however mild it appeared, was viewed as a quiet yet significant betrayal. It wasn't merely about what he said, but rather what it deeply symbolized: fear, conformity, and the chilling effect of immense political pressure. While fans once perceived him as the unwavering moral compass of cinema, his stance during this fraught era strongly suggested a more self-protective instinct, a calculated move to remain in favor no matter the ethical cost. Decades later, his legacy still shines brightly, but it carries an undeniable shadow. Cooper's role in this ideological crackdown serves as a powerful reminder that even the most noble faces of Hollywood weren't always standing on the right side of history. Errol Flynn epitomized the silver screen hero. In iconic roles like Captain Blood and The Adventures of Robin Hood, he effortlessly vaulted across grand banquet halls, brandished his sword with unmatched flair, and captivated audiences with a single roguish grin. But everything changed abruptly in 1942, when two teenage girls brought forward severe misconduct accusations against him. The ensuing trial became explosive front-page news, shaking Hollywood to its very core and gravely jeopardizing Flynn's gallant public image. While he was ultimately found not guilty, the sensational spectacle left an indelible scar that no amount of spotlight could conceal. Rumors continued to trail him like a billowing cloak. Tales of reckless indulgence, tumultuous friendships, and legendary nights out. The very phrase, "in like Flynn," even permeated pop culture. To some, a tribute to irresistible charm. To others, a knowing wink at how stardom could enable one to sidestep disaster. Flynn's legacy remains a profound study in contrast. The fearless swashbuckler who defined an entire era, and the volatile celebrity whose notorious off-screen escapades starkly revealed the deep shadows lurking behind Hollywood's gleaming golden glow. Joan Crawford. With unforgettable roles in classics like Grand Hotel, 1932, and Mildred Pierce, 1945, Joan Crawford became a symbol of ambition, elegance, and relentless drive. To the public, she was the picture of triumph. But that carefully crafted image began to unravel with the release of Mommy Dearest, the infamous memoir written by her adopted daughter, Christina Crawford. The book shattered the illusion of Hollywood perfection, revealing a woman who, behind closed doors, ruled with cold authority and an unpredictable temper. The revelations shocked fans and painted a jarring contrast to the polished persona she projected for decades. Whispers from the industry added more fuel. Allegations swirled that, in her early days, Crawford may have been involved in a photo scandal. Images that studios supposedly went to great lengths to hide. True or not, the rumors became part of her legend and a reminder of the secret machinery that once protected Hollywood royalty. On film sets, Joan was no less intimidating. Known for her sharp presence and unwavering standards, she demanded perfection, and those who fell short were often shown the door. Tensions with co-stars were common. Directors handled her with caution. She didn't just act out strength on screen, she lived it. And at times that strength crossed the line into something far more merciless. Though she was never formally accused of wrongdoing, many believe Joan Crawford's legacy is a cautionary tale. Not about crime, but about unchecked influence. Her power at home and within the studio system built a legend, and possibly buried the truth. Clark Gable. Clark Gable reigned as Hollywood's quintessential leading man, the irresistible star of Gone with the Wind and It Happened One Night. Audiences adored his effortless charm, but those inside the studio system whispered a far less flattering story. One the bosses worked hard to keep buried. In 1945, rumor has it Gable's car was involved in a serious late-night collision that left someone gravely injured. Headlines never appeared, courtrooms stayed silent, and the name Clark Gable was nowhere to be found on any official report. Industry gossip pins the cover-up on MGM executives who, determined to protect their golden ticket, allegedly paid hush money, smoothed over witness accounts, and erased every trace before dawn. It wouldn't have been the studio's first cleanup job. Gable's glamorous life was peppered with fiery romances and late-night escapades, yet negative press seemed to vanish as quickly as it surfaced. The accident story has never been proven, but it lingers in Hollywood lore, a reminder of an era when the right connections could rewrite reality. Guilty or simply shielded by privilege, Gable wasn't just treated like royalty on screen. In the real world, he played by a different set of rules altogether. Adolphe Menjou. Adolphe Menjou looked every inch the distinguished gentleman, always impeccably dressed, invariably with a sharp mustache and even sharper wit. With standout roles in The Front Page, 1931, and A Star is Born, 1937, he became the very embodiment of sophistication in classic cinema. In the 1940s and 50s, the chilling Red Scare gripped America, unleashing a wave of fear and suspicion. Accusations flew wildly, careers were abruptly shattered, and pervasive fear dictated who could work and who was unequivocally blacklisted. At the heart of this destructive firestorm stood the House Un-American Activities Committee, HUAC, and Menjou didn't merely support it. He became one of its most outspoken celebrity allies. As a friendly witness, Menjou did not hesitate to name names: colleagues, writers, directors. He accused them of being communist sympathizers, often without any solid proof. And in Hollywood, a mere accusation was all it took. Those who landed on the infamous blacklist were effectively erased, No work, no future, no chance to defend themselves. To some, Monjou was simply defending core American values. To others, he was deeply complicit in political corruption, using his immense fame not for art or truth, but for unwavering loyalty to a specific agenda, and perhaps to protect himself. His public speeches and fervent support for HUAC added considerable fuel to a destructive fire that tragically burned through Hollywood's creative core. Years later, the scars of that era remain. While Monjou's performances continue to charm on screen, his actions off-camera narrate a far more divisive story, of power wielded not to entertain, but to mercilessly silence. Chico Marx. Chico Marx brought boundless laughter to millions as an integral part of the legendary Marx Brothers, captivating audiences. But off-camera, he grappled with a severe problem, a gambling addiction that spiraled dangerously out of control. While his brothers meticulously built financial security, Chico relentlessly chased bets, leaving behind a devastating trail of mounting debts and persistent whispered rumors. Hollywood insiders gossiped that Chico didn't merely lose money, he reportedly borrowed it from highly dangerous individuals, possibly those with undeniable ties to the criminal underworld. Some accounts claimed he skillfully dodged repayment by performing small favors for shady characters, precariously walking a tightrope between movie stardom and murky, illicit backroom dealings. While nothing was ever definitively proven in court, the mere whispers alone were sufficient to make studios profoundly nervous. His brothers, Groucho and Harpo, reportedly made significant efforts to rein him in, even stepping in to directly manage his finances. But Chico invariably found his way back to the tables. Chico Marx may not have been a criminal in the classic sense, but his dangerous flirtation with mob-linked gambling scenes cast a long, unsettling shadow over his legacy. He serves as a poignant reminder that even the funniest faces of Hollywood weren't always laughing when the camera stopped rolling. Because YouTube will prioritize interactive videos, please comment "OK" if you find this video interesting. Thank you. In 1922, the sudden and suspicious death of director William Desmond Taylor sent seismic shockwaves through the entire film world. Minter, barely a teenager at the time, had reportedly developed deep and intense feelings for Taylor, a man twice her age. When police uncovered a stack of heartfelt, deeply personal letters from Minter to the deceased director, speculation exploded. Then the spotlight turned fiercely onto her mother, Charlotte Shelby, a fiercely controlling figure in Minter's life. Rumors erupted that Shelby profoundly disapproved of the relationship, perhaps to the point of a dangerous obsession. Some whispered she would stop at absolutely nothing to protect her daughter's image, her career, or her chilling secrets. While Mary Miles Minter may not have directly broken laws, the suffocating cloud of scandal left her with a reputation she could never entirely outrun. She soon vanished from Hollywood, leaving behind a haunting legacy built not just on film, but on one of the industry's most chilling what-ifs. To this day, the case remains officially unsolved, and Mary Miles Minter's name remains indelibly etched in the darker corners of Hollywood history. Robert Taylor. In 1947, as the chilling Red Scare gripped Hollywood with paralyzing fear, Taylor took center stage, not in a film, but before the House Un-American Activities Committee. There, he testified as a friendly witness, naming fellow actors and creatives whom he believed had questionable affiliations. Whether he did so out of genuine belief or under immense pressure from the powerful studios, the devastating result was unequivocally the same. Careers destroyed, lives irrevocably upended, all without trials, without substantial evidence, and without any chance for defense. Remarkably, Taylor's own career remained utterly untouched. While others were silenced, blacklisted, and marginalized, he continued working, continued staring, continued shining brightly under the Hollywood lights. To many, it represented a quiet yet profound betrayal. Not the kind whispered about in sensational scandal columns, but something colder, more calculated. It was the deliberate, calculated use of influence to secure one's own spotlight while others were mercilessly pushed into the deepest shadows. This was not the typical brand of flamboyant corruption, but it was just as damaging and far more lasting in its impact. Though Taylor remained a celebrated actor, the shadow of HUAC never quite left him. His story lingers as a haunting reminder. In old Hollywood, survival sometimes came at the cruel cost of someone else's silence. Born and raised in New York's notorious Hell's Kitchen, Raff didn't need to study the criminal underworld. He grew up immersed in it. From an early age, he associated with dangerous crowds and forged close ties with real-life mobsters. His name was frequently whispered alongside infamous figures like Bugsy Siegel, and industry insiders strongly suspected he played a far more significant behind-the-scenes role than anyone dared to admit. The rumors were relentless. Some claimed Raff acted as a discreet go-between for the mob and nightclub owners. Others believed he quietly resolved disputes for his criminal associates, making problems disappear before law enforcement ever became involved. Studios panicked. The very idea that one of their biggest stars might be too deeply connected to the underworld was an absolute public relations nightmare. Though he never faced major legal charges, the cloud of suspicion surrounding him never dissipated. Directors and co-stars described him as polite, even generous, but always surrounded by individuals who raised significant eyebrows. His rampant gambling habits certainly didn't help. Deeply in debt, he frequently turned to powerful figures for financial lifelines, only further tightening the insidious web of speculation. Audiences loved him in gangster roles precisely because he didn't just act the part, he was the part. And that is what makes George Raff's legacy so enduringly haunting. Frank Sinatra. While primarily celebrated for his music, Sinatra's acting career was far from a mere footnote. His powerful performance in From Here to Eternity, 1953, earned him an Oscar and solidified his place within Hollywood's elite. But as his star ascended, so did the persistent rumors. The FBI maintained extensive files on him, meticulously detailing years of alleged associations with high-level underworld figures. Whispers abounded that Sinatra leveraged his fame to help certain friends secure deals, smooth over conflicts, and gain access to venues where others were explicitly unwelcome. While nothing was ever definitively proven, the constant government surveillance strongly suggested those whispers were not being taken lightly. Then came the politics. Sinatra was renowned for throwing his considerable weight behind select politicians, including President John F. Kennedy. Their close friendship was the subject of intense tabloid obsession, and when it became public that Sinatra also maintained ties with known figures from the criminal world, the spotlight turned scorching. Some argue Sinatra was simply well-connected, a man who moved effortlessly between presidents and power players, showgirls and shadows. Others contend he knew precisely how to bend the rules without explicitly breaking them, utilizing charm as both a shield and a potent weapon. Robert Mitchum. In 1948, the gossip columns exploded. Mitchum was arrested during a late-night party raid where authorities claimed to have discovered illegal substances. At a time when Hollywood stars were expected to maintain an unblemished image, this incident ignited a full-blown scandal. Headlines screamed, fans were stunned, and Mitchum, the tough guy of the silver screen, suddenly found himself sitting in a jail cell. For many, this moment starkly exposed a hidden side of Hollywood scandals. Mitchum's arrest vividly suggested that beneath the red carpets and golden spotlights lay a clandestine world of secrets, where the rules didn't always apply. Studios had long been masters at keeping their stars' personal lives meticulously under wraps, but this time, the damage was simply too vast to conceal. Mitchum served time a mere few months behind bars that very nearly obliterated his career. But upon his return, he did so with audacious swagger. Whispers suggested that the studio pulled strings, greased palms, and launched an aggressive charm offensive to meticulously polish his tarnished image. And it worked. He was swiftly back in the spotlight, as if nothing had ever happened. Robert Mitchum may not have been tied to organized crime or political scandal, but his arrest profoundly shattered the illusion of Hollywood perfection. He became the definitive face of a new kind of corruption, where immense fame granted the power to break the rules, pay a minimal price, and still walk away with a lucrative movie deal. What do you think, Robert Mitchum was a misunderstood rebel? Or just another star abusing fame? Comment 1 or 5 below. 1 means he was innocent. 0 means he deserved worse. Roscoe Fatty Arbuckle. He was once the unchallenged king of silent film comedy, a colossal star whose slapstick genius filled theaters nationwide with thunderous laughter. At his zenith, Roscoe Fatty Arbuckle was not merely a household name. He stood among the highest-paid entertainers on the planet. Studios fiercely vied for his presence, and fans adored him. Hollywood seemed to be endlessly captivated. Yet in 1921, the glittering facade crumbled, revealing a scandal that would send seismic shockwaves throughout the entire industry. Arbuckle's night of lavish excess at a San Francisco hotel party spiraled catastrophically when young actress Virginia Rappe became critically ill and tragically died days later. The ensuing media frenzy was immediate and explosive. Whispers of scandal rapidly escalated into tabloid hysteria, transforming Arbuckle from a beloved comedian into a stark cautionary tale. He endured not 1, but 3 agonizing trials for manslaughter. Although a jury ultimately cleared his name, Hollywood had already decisively slammed its doors shut. His films vanished from screens, the public grew cold, and his name, once a guaranteed box office success, instantly became toxic. The Arbuckle case transcended mere personal downfall. It marked Hollywood's first brutal public reckoning. It exposed the deep cracks within the industry's meticulously polished image, revealing a merciless system lurking behind the laughter and lights, one quick to annihilate even its brightest stars. Arbuckle's tragic legacy endures as a haunting reminder. In the cutthroat world of Hollywood, the higher you ascend, the more devastating your fall. Charlie Chaplin. Hailed as one of the most brilliant minds in cinematic history, Charlie Chaplin, with his indelible tramp character, cane in hand, mustache twitching, revolutionized film and brought laughter to millions. But beneath the laughter lay a profoundly more intricate narrative, one fraught with controversy and personal behavior that continues to provoke intense debate even today. While audiences adored his on-screen persona, Chaplin's private life painted a starkly different picture. He exhibited a concerning pattern of pursuing extremely young women, notably marrying one bride who was only 16 while he was nearing 35. These highly imbalanced relationships ignited public outrage and compelled serious questions about the man behind the genius. The scandals didn't stop there. Chaplin found himself entangled in a highly publicized paternity lawsuit, facing accusations of fathering a child out of wedlock. Despite the murky scientific understanding of the era, the courtroom fallout exacted a severe toll, both financially and on his reputation. Adding to his troubles, the U.S. government cast a wary eye on Chaplin. As Cold War tensions intensified, he came under relentless scrutiny. J. Edgar Hoover's FBI maintained an extensive file on him, fueled by suspicions concerning his political leanings and global influence. Hollywood's beloved golden boy was now perceived as a potential threat. Confronted by mounting backlash and suspicion, Chaplin eventually departed the U.S., making Switzerland his new permanent residence. To this day, his legacy walks a precarious tightrope. On one side, unmatched artistic brilliance. On the other, profoundly troubling personal choices. Where are you watching from? Drop your country in the comments. And don't go anywhere. The stars coming up are even more shocking, with scandals you've never heard of. Trust us, the wildest stories are still ahead. Errol Flynn. So, what do you think? Are Hollywood's brightest stars really that different from the rest of us? Or are some secrets too pungent to ignore? As we've seen, behind the glamour and flashing cameras lies a world of very real, sometimes shocking habits. Which celebrity surprised you the most on this list? And do you believe the rumors, or is it all just part of the legend? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. For more jaw-dropping confessions and untold truths from Tinseltown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss an update.